So apparently we are not allowed to enjoy anything. Nevertheless, talk about the things that we enjoy. Apparently happiness is a bad thing, and anyone who's happy should be ashamed of being a puppet for the institutions we belong to. Apparently, thinking for yourself should only lead to malcontent, which apparently is a good thing, because it means that you're not a shill, not a sheep, that you haven't been drinking the Kool-Aid. Because apparently, no one with independent thought can be genuinely happy. I mean, who could be with the current state of the game? I mean, it's terrible, it's unplayable, it's literally almost falling apart. Anyone who's happy with this must be brainwashed by the devs or something. So, since apparently this is the case, we need to shame the happiness right out of them. Now, by my own admission, I'm a pretty happy person by nature. I highly value small acts of kindness, I view new and unknown experiences as the potential for fun and adventure, and find that there are few things more rewarding in life than putting a smile on someone's face, especially if you can make them laugh to the point where they drool a little. And while this may sound like I live in the kingdom of sugary sweetness, be very aware that the borders of my lands are lined with the impaled skulls of all of the homophobes, trolls, and wannabe know-it-alls that have tried to shit on my day. Word to the wise, do not try and fuck with my happiness. Regardless, it's been a trend as of late to call anyone who speaks positively about Warframe's gameplay, releases, or policies a shill. Anyone who expresses any kind of goodwill to the development team that is breaking their backs creating this video game that many of us have found a lot of enjoyment playing must be some sort of brainwashed robot who can't think for themselves. Or maybe they actually enjoy it. Maybe some people are genuinely having fun. Maybe not everyone is completely burnt out and ready to quit. Maybe, just maybe, there are those of us who have learned to manage our expectations and enjoy the game for what it is and aren't devoting our lives trying to force it to be what we think it should be. And maybe you never hear those stories because instead of bitching on the forums or on YouTube, we're too busy having fun in-game. True, there are some people out there that have their frustrations with it, some of which are actually valid, but that doesn't mean there aren't those of us having an awesome fucking time with it, not because we're being brainwashed, but because we like raising the dead bodies of our enemies to fight for us, or cutting through our targets with blade waves and flying around as mini death pixies. There are a lot of things to love in Warframe, and anyone who tries to shame you for talking about the things you love is trying to do their own kind of brainwashing. See, as you know, Misery is notorious for loving company. That's why they tend to be the most vocal minority. As a content creator that's exposed to a lot of them, it's very obvious that they like sitting in the same echo chambers, tossing around the newest thing to be pissed off about, with very few of them truly understanding the real issue. Most recently, it's power creep. Previously, it was nullifiers, and before that, it was mandatory mods. This goes on as far back as I can remember. The mob of angry townspeople exists only to seek out and jump onto the next Misery bandwagon, because believe it or not, they like being miserable. As someone who prides themselves on being logical, you only continue to do something if you enjoy doing it, right? That's why I still play Warframe, because I enjoy it. So why are there some people who sink their time and energy into a game that they don't enjoy? Why spend your time, which may I remind you is a resource you can never get back, on a game that you constantly bitch and moan about? Unless, of course, you enjoy bitching and moaning. See, at the end of the day, I am big on preserving my positivity. Aside from the normal grown-up stuff, I do the things I love and I stop doing the things that don't bring me more happiness. That's why I play Kled in the top lane on Twisted Tree Line. That's why I like throwing nuts at people with Ratatosker. Why Sniper Grandma is best grandma. And why holographic Dino Grandpa is best grandpa. I do it all because it makes me happy, just like playing Warframe does. And the thing is, yes, there are issues with Warframe that need to be addressed. However, there are issues with every single game I play. And if I sat here and rolled around in all of those problems, what kind of life would that be? And more importantly, what kind of person would that make me? The last thing I want to become is someone who dwells on the negative, builds their life around petty drama and misery. I mean, only someone who's hit the bottom of the barrel would want that for themselves. Now, as for someone who apparently shills for Warframe, listen very closely to what I have to say next. If you're not having fun, stop playing the game. Whether you uninstall it completely and walk away forever and ever, or venture out and discover other games that do make you happy and only really check in during an update. The most important thing is to live a life full of things that make you smile, surrounded by people who lift you up. Let go of the extraneous things that frustrate you and disengage from those who only seek to encourage anger and discontent. Because life is fleeting. Trust me, I know firsthand. My best friend died at the age of 26, and I would hate to think that her final moments were spent on the internet raging on the forums about power creep street instead of on Skype with me laughing about something that we call on YouTube. So live your best life, and if that's a life without Warframe, no one's gonna hold that against you. But please, let those of us who are having fun while we try to live our best lives do so without being harassed, because we're not shills, we're not sheep, we're not robots. We're just happy, and you should find a way to be too. So thank you all for watching yet another editorial. If you want to continue down this rabbit hole, I would probably suggest the sauce, as well as some opinions don't matter. Now don't forget to do all the things that I ask you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, stay tuned for more chilling, apparently, here at A Gay Guy Plays. Boo, I am running out of ideas as to where to hide these lifts. You know what? Let's see if Twitter inspires me at all.